Welcome back to the channel. You are watching Sawtooth Tactical, and last week I put out a video about how to get your suppressors approved if you've been waiting what seems like longer than just about everybody else. Because as we all know by now, people are getting suppressors approved faster than ever before. Well, I'm really happy because that video helped out a ton of people. I got such a positive response from it. All these people in the comments saying that they did exactly what I did and that their suppressors were approved the next day. And so I'm really glad that that worked out for any of you that used the email and the phone number that I put in the description and got your suppressors. But that kind of leads me to this week's video. So because the wait times have gotten so much shorter, suppressor purchasing has gone way up. We have more new suppressor owners than ever before, which is a positive thing, in my opinion. I think the more that we can make these things in common use, the better. Eventually, maybe, we'll get them deregulated off the NFA. Do I think that's going to happen anytime soon? Probably not. The issue now, though, is that the wait time that people are dealing with is not the Form 4 approval wait, is that they're waiting for suppressors to come back into stock because the manufacturers are having such a hard time keeping up with this new demand that we have now. There's more of a demand for suppressors than ever before because people that weren't willing to wait a year for a suppressor, turns out that they're willing to wait a week for one. So suppressors are selling like crazy. I wanted to bring this video to you guys to maybe show you some ways that you can find the suppressors that you want in stock if it seems like they're out of stock everywhere. So if that's interesting to you, I know we're way past the time that you would normally call this an intro, but make sure you're subscribed and let's get into it. This seems to be the thing now. Instead of people having to wait, months and months and months for a suppressor approval, now the issue is a lot of people want to buy suppressors, but they're just not finding the ones that they want in stock. Well, I have good news and bad news as far as that goes. As far as the bad news first, yeah, a lot of suppressors are out of stock. Like I said, these manufacturers, I am sure that they're doing their best to try to keep up with this new, much higher demand. And so they're probably producing cans as fast as they possibly can. But more people want them than what seems to be available. But here's the good news. We have more suppressor manufacturers than ever before and more different models from those manufacturers. So depending what kind of suppressor you're looking for, there's probably one in stock somewhere right now that will do exactly what you want. It just might not be the one that you've heard of, or it might be. I'm going to give you guys some places that I've seen them in stock recently and some ways that you can maybe follow and see for yourself as things are in stock, and hopefully this will help you out. I'd like to thank Aura, which is the sponsor of this video. Firearms can protect you and your family and your household from a lot of threats and provide you with a certain amount of security. Well, Aura can provide you with security from the things that you don't see and protect you from those threats. I've been using it for a few months now. When I first got it, I Googled my name and there was a lot of stuff that came up. And then I signed up with Aura and I watched as they took each and every one of those things off of the internet so that my information wasn't out there anymore. They do a lot of things, including identity and credit monitoring, password manager, antivirus protection. They have a VPN, home title monitoring, and then the big one is data broker removal. As you guys probably already know, scammers are a huge part of life now, which really sucks. But the way that they get your information is from data brokers. And Aura goes out there and they find those data brokers that have your information and they submit opt-out requests on your behalf, removing your information off the internet so that scammers don't have access to you anymore. The big thing that it's helped me with is I don't get spam calls anymore, and I've noticed that over these last few months that I've been using it. I just have stopped getting spam calls. If you want to support this channel, Sawtooth Tactical, the best way to do that is to sign up for Aura. You get 2 weeks free if you use my link, which is aura.com/sawtooth-tactical. And then it's only $12 a month for all of those things that I listed earlier. I really appreciate what Aura has done for the channel. And I appreciate that they sponsor firearms-related channels. It says a lot to me about who they are. I value my privacy, and I also value yours. So one of the things that I do, because I've bought so many firearm parts and accessories over the last few years, especially doing this channel, is that, you end up, when you place an online order, a lot of the times you end up on a mailing list, an email list from those places, like Grab a Gun, like Primary Arms, Palmetto State Armory, these different online retailers. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing. Yeah, it can definitely kind of fill up your email inbox with a bunch of stuff, but these are actually emails that I like to see because generally these places have like deals that they're showing you all the time. Like I get tons of ammo from Palmetto State Armory, a lot of AAC ammo, and generally when I'm going through my email, I'll see a deal on, 124 grain 9mm, subsonic 300 blackout, 55 grain 5.56, whatever it is, and I'll end up buying some. So it works for them. Their advertising definitely works, but it also works for me because I see what I needed anyway at a good deal and I buy it. Well, another good thing about these email lists and getting these deals from these retail outlets is that, they're trying to sell suppressors as well. And because suppressors have become so popular all of a sudden, I do see that when suppressors are in stock, these places are generally advertising them right now. Places that you might not think of to get a suppressor. And so the first one I want to bring up is a website called Native Outdoors. Now, it's not Primary Arms or Palmetto State Armory or one of these, generally the ones that you generally hear of to buy, firearm parts and accessories. I didn't even know they existed until I was looking for an RMR plate for this Prodigy a while back, and they weren't in stock anywhere because it was pretty soon after the Prodigy came out. And the RMR plate was, of course, the most popular one because it works for Trijicon RMR and the Holosun optics, a lot of the really popular optics. And so I couldn't find one anywhere, and I really wanted to put an optic on this gun, and I didn't want to use the stupid optic that Springfield puts out with these. So anyway, somebody recommended Native Outdoors to me. Well, it turns out it's a great website, and I oftentimes find things on there that don't seem to be in stock in other places. Like I found this RMR plate. Well, you know what else? They've had these in stock lately. This is an OCL Polonium K. This is a very popular suppressor right now. It's one of the ones, Pew Science did a great write-up on this, but it's a very effective 5.56 suppressor. And for the price point, it's a really hard value to beat. So a lot of people want this suppressor. Well, I've seen them there. I've also seen them on Grab a Gun. So if these are websites that you're not maybe super familiar with, check them out. Grab a Gun, Native Outdoors. Also, of course, the general ones that you always know, Primary Arms sells suppressors. And then places like Silencer Shop and Silencer Co. If you get on their email lists, they will regularly send you things, daily deals, or just in-stock notices of suppressors that are in stock. And so if that's what's holding you up from buying a suppressor, is finding one that matches the criteria that you're looking for and finding it in stock at a decent price, well, these are good sites to check out. Now that I think about it, I think it was actually Grab a Gun that I found the Polonium K on. But Native Outdoors has a bunch of like Yankee Hill ones right now available. Yankee Hill is another manufacturer that makes pretty decently priced suppressors that are also considered to be very good. So those are a couple places that I would check out. Then again, like I said, Silencer Shop. Some of these places, they'll pay for your tax stamp, or they'll even do a buy one, get one suppressor where you buy one and maybe you get a 22 cal suppressor, and I don't mean 22 as in 223, 556, like a suppressor for 22 long rifle. But maybe you get that for free. Or maybe you do get another 30 cal or a 556 suppressor for free. They've got deals like that all the time. And they also sell things like SBRs and stuff, NFA items. But these are good places to look. And so if you haven't found what you're looking for, those are good places. But the main one that I think that you should look at is your local gun store. Now, my local gun store happens to be a really good shop. I know the guys there well. I mean, I'm in there all the time, obviously. But they have a ton of suppressors in stock right now. And so, when those guys hear that people can't find suppressors, they kind of laugh. Because they've got, I looked in their back safe one day because I was thinking about another 30 cal suppressor while I was waiting on these two to get approved. And I was amazed at the stacks of suppressors that they had in stock in the safes in the back of their store. And that's kind of the thing. A lot of these small, local mom and pop gun shops have suppressors in stock. You might just not know about it. And it might not be exactly the model or the brand name that you're thinking of, but it might be just as good or a better suppressor. They showed me some stuff that wasn't even on my radar. And then I went home and kind of did a little research on them. Really, really good suppressors. And so I think that it's really important to support your local gun store. More than, I think it's good to support the gun industry as a whole. And so I don't feel bad supporting Primary Arms, Palmetto State Armory, places like that by any means. I think it's good to grow the gun industry. But at the same time, we need these local gun stores to do well. You got to have a place, even if you buy a gun online, you have to have a place to fill out your 4473 and have it transferred to. And so if you can support them, you might as well. And this is the other thing. So I really wanted this Polonium K for a long time. And I told them that. And they didn't have one in stock. They had a Polonium 30. In fact, they had a bunch of Polonium 30s, but not the 556 Polonium K. And so every time I went in there to buy a couple boxes of ammo, I'd ask them, hey, have you found me a Polonium K yet? And they did the searching for me, and they found me one, and they ordered a couple in, one for me, one for the store to just put on the shelf and sell. And that's how I got my Polonium K, got the process started on it. Because at the time, I couldn't find these in stock anywhere. But guess what? My local gun store has access to all of the wholesalers that I don't have access to. And so they were able to find something that I wasn't. They did the same thing for me when I was looking for a 4¼ inch Prodigy. I couldn't find one in stock. They found one and ordered it in for me. And so go to your local gun store, support your local small business, tell them what you're looking for, and see if they can find it for you. Chances are they probably can, even if it takes a few weeks. And if they can't, they probably either already have or could find something just as good or better, exactly what you're looking for, in your price range, whatever, whether you're looking for a certain size, a certain caliber, a certain decibel reading, whatever is the most important thing to you, because suppressors do a number of different things. They don't only suppress sound, and so there's a lot of variables that people are looking for. Maybe you're looking for a really compact can. Whatever it may be, they could probably find you exactly what you're looking for, maybe easier than you might be able to find it yourself. And you probably end up paying less of a transfer fee if you buy it through the store rather than just ordering something online and having it transferred through them. Generally, they're going to have to charge you a little more to do the NFA paperwork and stuff if they didn't have the opportunity to make a profit on that sale. And so I think it is important to support those guys, and they might be able to find you what you're looking for. So if that has been what your issue is as far as not getting a suppressor yet, because you're seeing all these quick wait times and you want to get into the suppressor game, but you're not finding the suppressor that you want in stock, again, check out the websites that I talked about. Grab a Gun, Native Outdoors, Primary Arms, whatever, a bunch of these, Silencer Shop. But also, And I would say maybe first, go into your local gun store and see what they can get for you. They might already have what you're looking for in stock. It's definitely worth checking out. So another thing I just want to say at the end of this video, I am so happy that my last video on Sunday, not my last video, but last Sunday's video, got so many people's suppressors approved. You know, I told you guys what worked for me, and I got 2 suppressors approved the next morning. Well, tons of you guys did the same thing and got your cans approved the next day as well. And that makes me really happy. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Please share this video. Make sure you subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.